March 26th, day 2 of the Skoll World Forum. I'm here with
Stamm
of
WaterPartners,
and we were just in a 1.5-hour session on the politics, or the water and power. I don't recall the exact title of it.
and the Millennium Development Goals.
And the Millennium Development Goals. And I was just wondering for your thoughts on the panel, what you enjoyed, what stood out.
Well, I was impressed by the diversity of views, and certainly water, since it's a physiological need, you're going to get a lot of emotion on either side, and so you have one side that's applying social entrepreneurialism, and then there's another side that views water as a fundamental right, and there shouldn't be any really discussions around the deployment of capital or access, and we saw that diversity of discussion here today.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a bit about your organization.
Well, WaterPartners is based in Kansas City, and we have a number of approaches to addressing the water and sanitation crisis, and it ranges everywhere from grant-based, which we believe applies to probably the 1/3 of the people at the bottom of the economic pyramid that don't have access to safe water, and that's about 300 million, less than $1 per day. There's another 2/3 that make more than $1 per day that with some form of microfinance can gain access to safe water and sanitation much more quickly than they could otherwise waiting for a grant. And so we use both of those approaches to satisfy that need.
Wonderful. And your founder, executive director, is here for an award this week?
Yes, that's Gary White, and he is a winner of the Skoll Award this week, and he'll be receiving that award this evening.
And can you tell me a bit about how you got involved with WaterPartners and previous work?
Sure. I was in the private sector for about 25 years in the energy field, and had actually retired. Got involved with an organization called Engineers Without Borders in Kansas City, and they were doing a water project in the Dominican Republic. And that's where I first became aware of the water problem. I hadn't really paid attention to it, candidly, and became aware of it, and then coincidentally was contacted about the position at WaterPartners, which just happened to be in Kansas City, and I had not actually heard of WaterPartners, even though the work that they're doing is very well recognized. So for me, it was a bit of serendipity. I've been with them about a year now, and I really enjoy the approach that WaterPartners takes. The combination of microfinance to water and sanitation really wasn't even intuitive to me the first time I heard it, because making loans for water and sanitation, which is not income generating, intuitively you would ask, well, how do people pay back those loans? And the answer is that the people that are most affected, which are women, they're the ones that are making the treks, 2- and 3-hour treks to the rivers. They're the ones that are staying home with their children when they're sick from the waterborne diseases. They are very much willing to take that on if they have a means, and often those women, it's self-generated income, so those 2 or 3 hours that they're spending moving back and forth to the well or standing in line are now being spent generating income. And also, they've always had access to water, even if it wasn't safe water, and so in some cases they might actually be buying water from the water mafia at 10 to 12 times what they would be paying if they were, say, connected to a utility, or they could get it from a kiosk, and so it represents a savings for them. And again, it's not something that made sense to me the first time that I heard it, but actually seeing it out in the field, seeing the repayment rates in excess of 98%, certainly made a believer out of me.
So, final question. This is your first involvement with a social venture. Can you tell me a bit about how that differs from previous experience?
You know, it's certainly the same amount of work, and I mean, it's something you can throw yourself into. I really appreciate the energy, the enthusiasm of the employees at WaterPartners. It's a fairly young group, a very small group, and I was with a larger organization. So I enjoyed my time in the private sector. I actually, it was very stimulating intellectually and rewarding, and this is rewarding as well. So it's just something different for me. It's a different experience, and one that I feel fortunate to have the opportunity to participate in it.
Great. Thanks so much for the interview.
Thanks very much.
There we go. Excellent.